Akwe and welcome back to today's video. So are you slim and skinny and probably you're struggling with gaining weight or even gaining some butt mass or booty mass, hips and all that? This video will help you out. We're going to talk about tips in your training system, exercises that work for you best, and even the eating pattern that will get you results the fastest. So stay tuned to the video and make sure you watch the end and follow every bit of the tiny steps we're going to talk about here in this video. If you're new here on the channel, my name is Abigail Akwe. Welcome to the channel. Join the community by subscribing and turning on the post notifications so you don't miss a video from me. And be sure to like and share this video. It supports me a lot and thank you for doing that. So let's get started with this video. So the first thing to consider as a slim girl when it comes to gaining weight and building your butt muscle is the fact that you have to be on a calorie surplus. That means you're eating more than your maintenance calorie. What is maintenance calorie? Maintenance calorie is a portion of food or calorie that keeps you in the body size or frame that you are at the moment. And you need to be eating extra for you to really gain size and look thicker. Of course, what you eat extra, whether you convert it to muscle or is stored as fat, is going to be dependent on your training, which we'll talk about very soon. But the main thing is you have to be on a surplus before anything can actually happen, before you get thick and actually gain some little muscle size. I will advise you to use a calculator going to leave below, or you can do something like multiply your body weight in pounds times 15, 16, 17 to 18. And you can even increase it up to 20. But first of all, you start with a lesser number and then check if that makes you gain weight. If it makes you gain weight, then you can stick to that number and later slowly increase it. If it doesn't make you, after watching yourself for 1 week or 2 weeks and you're still at the same size, just increase the multiplication. There are more complicated ways to really get a more accurate figure. I'm not ready to start doing those calculations here, but what you can do is just try this and observe yourself for 1 week, 2 weeks. You'll get it right. When you know your weight gain calorie, you want to now start eating the right nutrients to gain your muscle. There are nutrients that are very, very essential in your meal. The one of them is carbohydrates, the second one is fat, the third one is protein. When you're sourcing for your carbohydrates, you're not sourcing for the simple carbohydrates, but rather you want to stick to complex carbohydrates. The complex carbohydrates stays longer in your system, provides you with enough nutrient, energy, a lasting one that will help you really carry out your whole day without feeling that overly much craving, and they don't end up storing in the body as very rubbish fat and getting you to store more of the belly fat without really gaining size all over in general. So you want to be eating complex carbohydrates. You now want to stay away from the simple carbohydrates. The simple carbohydrates are all those sugary drinks, the simple sugars and pastries and all that. They are not good for you. They easily are stored as fat in your body and they make you go over your calorie need for the day. Trust me, when you are rapidly gaining weight, the majority of the fats are going to fall back to your belly and those wrong area that you don't really want them to come aboard on. So you want to stick to eating on a calorie surplus but at a moderate portion and slowly count your way up. That's how you gain weight as a skinny girl, and then you're not really gaining it on the wrong places like the belly, but rather the majority of those calories will be used to build your muscle, especially if your training is on point, which we're talking about very soon. And the protein is very necessary for building cells and muscles. You already know this already, so you need protein. And of course, you should source your protein from complete protein sources. The complete protein sources are the protein that has all the 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot produce on its own. So you want to go for things like eggs are complete protein. For the plant-based protein, soya bean, flaxseed are complete protein. There is another seed again, I can't remember it. They're complete protein. And then meats, fish are complete protein. Just go to Google and Google complete protein list. I'll leave a link of my blog post where I have a list of all the complete proteins and those that are not complete, complementary protein that you can use to actually bump up your protein need for the day. Protein requirement per day is at least minimum of 1.5 per kilogram of body weight, and if you're doing in pounds, it should be 0.8. Next thing is the fat side of it. It serves as energy supply in your system, helps protect your organ organs and heart from actually catching problems, diseases and all that. Above all, it is a quick way to actually increase your calorie. If you have an eating disorder, it's easy for you to just add extra oil sometimes when you feel like, okay, my total calorie is still low, but I need more calorie. Just add a little oil to it and get that number up. I did not leave out the fruits and vegetables. They are very, very important. The fruits contains minerals and vitamins that helps your protein to really work at its best version. Fruit and vegetable contains a lot of fibers, which helps you remain flat, and it keeps your bowel going out freely, and that makes your belly flat while you're trying to gain weight. Otherwise, you still see punch and big size on those midsection, which I obviously am very sure you don't want. So you want to be eating your fruit, you want to also be eating your vegetable, and that's it for the eating part. Let's move on to the training. What you should be doing in your workout to see results. The first thing when it comes to your training is the fact that you don't want to do isolation exercises only. I'm not saying you won't do isolation exercises, I'm saying you just don't want to focus on them alone. You want to do both compound and isolation moves. And what are compound moves? What are isolation moves? Isolation moves are just those single exercises that target one muscle at a time, and compound has to do with a lot of different connecting muscles together. Example of isolation move is things like fire hydrants. It's one muscle, is just your hip muscle, and then a compound move is something like squats. There are variations of squats, obviously. You do barbell squats, you do jump squats and all that, but jump squats and barbell squat are not equally the same. Jump squat, you can really do jump squat with weight, but barbell squat you can do with weight, and actually the barbell squat is more effective in this regard than doing a jump squat as a skinny girl. It's because jump squats is just mainly going to just bump up your heart rate. It's generally for fat burn, but not ideally for muscle growth and hypertrophy. That's, training to grow the body muscle. So I would say, if you have your way, go to the gym and do this barbell squat. The barbell squat trains your whole body, but it trains in a way that you have more lower build, and you're growing your butt muscle at the same time. So that's one exercise to be doing. I would say you start off with the compound move because they are the most difficult ones. Then you now finish up your exercises with the isolation exercises. 3 compound moves that I would want you to do as a slim girl is: 1, hip thrust. If you go to the gym, do hip thrust. It is the best exercise we ever do. It has the highest glute activation so far when it comes to your glute max, and of course the way and angle you keep your leg will actually determine whether you feel it a little bit on your quad, your hip muscle and all that. When you keep your leg a little bit wider and a little farther from your body, you tend to feel it more on the hip muscle and your quad area, but when you bring your leg closer to your body, you feel it more on the big back butt muscle. But basically everybody will differ with how they position their body. Adjust your body accordingly, and usually for this exercise you don't want to actually be arching your back. You want to keep your back straight, so when you lift off the weight from the ground, so you need this. You can still perform this move starting off without a weight there, and get used to the move very well before you start increasing and adding weight to the training. You want to start with a very low weight and then slowly progress the weight. This is one thing that triggers muscle growth in addition to tension when you perform each certain moves. So there are 2 factors that affect your muscle growth. One thing is progressive overload. Second thing is mechanical tension on the muscle. Progressive overload is adding more volume to your training above what you did in the past, and then mechanical tension has to do with you cautiously getting that muscle involved, that it feels worn out during the time you're performing that workout, and that usually is involved with you thinking and concentrating about the muscle and making sure you're lifting and performing the move with the muscle that is involved. That is how you grow your butt muscle. You have to think about the muscle, you have to actually increase the volume and weight. Without this, you're probably just going to be wasting your time. The next exercise I want you to be doing as a slim girl to gain size, gain booty in your hips is sumo deadlift or Romanian deadlift. These 2 are different exercises. One actually targets your hip a lot more and your quad, and the other one targets mostly your butt, the back butt. That's a big glute max muscle, and then the hamstring. The Romanian deadlift targets more of your hamstring. The sumo deadlift targets your hamstring, your butt, and the hip muscle at the same time. So for a skinny girl, if you're trying to grow your hips, then you probably would be better off doing the sumo deadlift a lot more, but still your hamstring has to also be worked. So the Romanian deadlift does a whole lot. That's variation of the exercises. This is the sumo deadlift and this is the Romanian deadlift. So for the sumo deadlift, what you do is keep your leg a little bit on a wide angle, and Romanian deadlift, you keep your legs straight, toes facing front, and when you go down trying to lift the weight off the ground, you just have your knee bent slightly, and then you want to lift. Don't round your back when you're lifting the weight. You just want to push your butt back, then keep your back straight, chest up, and then you lock your lower back completely as you lift the weight up. Then you squeeze your butt muscle on that top lift. The only variation for this both exercises is the fact that one, your leg is a little bit wider and it targets a little more on your hip, and the other one, your leg is straight facing front. But each of them will require you to hinge back from your hip, keep your back straight, chest up, and then you also want to pull in your belly and get some belly work as well. In fact, you have to pull in your belly for you to actually lock your lower back so you don't round and break your spine. So that's how to perform these exercises. I know I'm not really going orderly because I'm not an orderly human being. So the third exercise I want you to be doing as a skinny girl in order to gain your butt and hip muscle is wide dip squats. How you perform this move? It's almost like doing your squats, but this time you want your leg to be on a wide angle, a little bit wider than your shoulder. Then you want to go down to a deep squat, very deep squat, and you want to get to a point whereby you start feeling those hamstring, the inner thigh stretching a little bit. Then you come up and repeat the move for like 10 to 15. You want to start off with body weights first, then you want to add weights. Carry a barbell, lift a barbell on your shoulder and hold on to it, and then try to still replicate this move, maintaining a good posture, going up slowly and coming up slowly. Then you squeeze your butt muscle on the top. For any squat move, you need to learn how to perform squat correctly. Now let's move on to isolation exercises. These are the finisher exercises I want you to be doing because they are less intense, but they are burnout for the muscle, the hip muscle, to help it feel like, okay, I want to actually grow a lot more, because this lady had done compound exercise to build the whole muscle, and yet she's doing an isolation exercise as well. So one isolation move that you want to actually focus on doing is a lying clamp. You lie down on your side and then you want to carry weight on that body and lift your leg. You put your leg in a 90-degree, then you try to lift it. You can keep your leg straight and still do the abduction exercise, the lateral side lying lift. These moves are easy to perform and they are low risk exercises, so you can increase your weight as much as you can carry for the workout. So one thing you need to bear in mind when you're increasing your weight is the moment you can feel like the tension is too much, that it starts causing rip or break or sharp pain somewhere else aside from burning sensation, then you know you're probably lifting too much. So you just need to reduce it and try the moves again, and you want to still, whatever you do, build strength progressively. There is an ideal number of reps for each exercises, and they ranges from 10 to 15 for muscle growth and hypertrophy. So you don't want to be going for very high repetition, like where you do 100 repetition, 20 repetition. Those will not get your body growing in any way. They're only going to tone you and keep you at the size you are. If you're trying to grow in size and get thicker, you want to lift heavy with shorter repetitions, and then you want to increase the set. So the third exercise I want you to be doing is fire hydrants. But now you want to use a weight for it. You don't want to just be performing this move with your body weight and you're aiming for 30 to 800 repetition. No, don't do that. Just keep increasing the weight and keep trying to lift the weight like this. The last move I want you to do as a skinny girl to round up your training for each day is a banded sumo walk. So basically you want to grab a band here. You can buy this for cheap. I have a link, you can use it for Amazon and Bodybuild link. This will help finalize and do a final burnout for those hips and butt muscle, and will get you those well looking bomb while you're trying to gain weight at the same time. So if you did enjoy the tips you found in this video, definitely you would love to join my 8 weeks wider hips and bigger body challenge. This is a program I created to help train your butt muscle to the next level and giving you the routine for each day, eating pattern. Everything is all calculated for you, and you have a general eating guide to help you identify what works for you. You have your meal plan for each day for throughout the 8 weeks, and everything laid out step by step for you. So all you need to do is use the link I will leave in the description box and join the 8 weeks wider hips and bigger body program. Well, thanks for watching the video, and be sure to subscribe, like and share this video. Turn on post notification if you're just joining me for the first time so you don't miss a video from me. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.